Hi everyone, Donna here. Thank you so much for joining me today. So a couple of things just before we get started is number one, I have a new mat down. It's a glass mat. It's the first time I've used it, but I was having trouble with the light in this room. It's been so dark and miserable, and for some reason my videos were coming off quite yellow looking. So I'm hoping this will help with that. And kind of, you know, with the I was hoping it might bounce a little bit of light back up. And also, just in terms of kind of keeping it clean, easy to work on, etc. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the heavens have opened. I've managed to just kind of put off filming until now, until it's just this moment stopped, but it's really dark. And it's also thundering, so if you hear lots of rain or thunder in the background, that's what that is as well. Okay, so on to today's video. So today I am inspired by, I want to say card maker, although she's not really a card maker, she's a paper crafter. She's called Helen Griffin UK, and she has her own line of crafting called Simply Made Crafts, which is available at Craft Stash. Not sponsored or anything like that, but I always like to give credit to whoever I'm influenced by. So she has two channels on YouTube, Helen Griffin UK and Simply Made Crafts. I saw a live a couple of weeks ago where she made like a mini album junk journal from envelopes, and I was really inspired. So I had a go and came up with 3 different versions of hers, which are all here. So the albums are made from the envelopes and the matching card. So for example, this one, the cards are 6x4. So these are the cards here, and then we use the envelopes as well. These were just pre-made ones that came in a pack. And then I did the same with some, presume 7x5 with this one. Let's just open it up. And then, so this is the envelope, this is the card that goes inside. There's pockets as well. And I also made this one from 4x4 envelopes and the card as well. Put a little camera on the front. I've varied the amount of pockets in each one. I will go a bit more into that in a while. But yeah, that's that one as well. They're really easy to make, really enjoyable to make as well. Helen didn't put a spine on hers, but I have. I have just put a fabric spine on mine using the Tim Holtz fabric tape. And then obviously just put some toppers on the front. This one you would have seen in a recent video. I will link it. This one I also did a video on as well. I will also link that. This camera I just made in my own time from a die. So I'm going to show you how to go about making these. Again, not my idea, inspired by Helen Griffin, and obviously just with my kind of own take and personal style on it. So let's get started. For the album today, I'm using the 4x4 white carton envelope from Crafty UK Limited. These are 250 GSM for the cards and 100 GSM for the envelopes. Now, for every 2 envelopes that you use, you will need 1 card. So we're making a 3 signature journal today. So for 3 signatures, you will need 6 envelopes and 3 cards from your pack. If you don't want to use pre-made card blanks and envelopes, you can always make your own. That's an option as well. I would though just make sure that your envelopes and cards are measured quite accurately, or as accurately as you can get them, because it will help with your sticking together. And I would also use slightly more expensive envelopes and cards, which I know might seem like a bit of a waste. You know, you're not using them to make a card and then to post off. However, it does make a difference to the final album. the cheap envelopes, I've tried to use some cheap envelopes. They were so bad. They were so badly sized. They weren't even anywhere near the same size as each other. They weren't even folded straight. Those are like cheaper ones. You know, like you can get like £1 packs of envelopes and cards. So I would recommend slightly more expensive envelopes and cards. And also if you are making your own, just make sure you've kind of been as accurate as possible with your measuring. Now, for the sake of time, I have already put together 2 of my signatures, my first one and my last one. We're going to do the middle one together. So these are all made from those 4x4 cards. I've already stuck everything together and I've cut my pieces to fit on them. I am using the Elizabeth Craft Designs Reminiscence book. This is the book here, book 6. Gorgeous papers in there. So I've used that paper throughout, and you can see I have an envelope here, a card in the middle and an envelope at the back. Again, for my last signature, I have an envelope, the card in the middle and the envelope at the back. It's just ready to go onto there. So I'm going to show you how to construct your signature. I apologise if this is making noise. I'm not used to it yet. I'm aware that I keep kind of clanging things down. I hope it's not too distracting. So here I've got one envelope, one card, and another envelope. Okay, I've already done all of my inking that I need to do. I haven't bothered to ink these bits because we are not going to see those. Let's pop those out of the way for now. Now, the only thing I've done slightly different in the preparation for this middle signature is I have taken a tiny bit off the end, like a tiny bit, just to open the envelope up. On this first signature and on my last signature, I haven't done that. You can do it, and I have done it on the other ones, but I will tell you why I haven't on this one. The reason is because your front signature is also your front cover. So if you open your envelopes, you end up with a pocket on the front and a pocket on the back, because your last signature, that last envelope and your last signature is also your back cover. So you know, that's the only reason why I haven't, because I thought I'm probably not going to use this pocket or this pocket, and you know, particularly because I've got pockets on the inside. So on this one, I decided not to put any pockets in. And I've just done the pockets on the inside. And I think I did the same with this one. Yeah, no pockets on there either. And I just found, for me, that was just an option I preferred. But, you know, again, you can put pockets all the way through yours if you want to. There's a variety of different things you can do. So it's just, you know, depending on what kind of suits you. But for this middle signature I have, so all I did was just slice with a ruler and a craft knife on this outside edge. So that can be my front, and that's going to be my back. And to attach these together, we are going to stick these 2 flaps together. The glue I've been using is the Collal. It's really strong. It dries quick, and I just really like it. So all you need to do is pop some glue on one of these flaps. I try not to go too far near the edge because it does squish out. So you find if you kind of come in a little bit, it'll reach the edge for you on its own. Okay, so we've got glue on that flap. I'm placing this one facing it, and then just popping them together. And I try and line up the card rather than just the flap, because it doesn't really matter if the flap's a little bit out, but it will make a difference if the card's out. And there we have the flaps stuck together. And then we're bringing in our insert, the actual card bit. And what we're going to do is put some more glue onto here, and this is going to stick over like that. And that's what makes this page here. So for this one, we need a little bit of glue on here. I like to have my card kind of facing vertical this way. Then I get this, and I just make sure I've got the same amount of room top and bottom, and also I leave a little bit of room so that we're not right up against that crease. I don't want to hinder it folding. And then we just fold that over. Okay. On my envelopes, I have got a slight bit of overhang, but it doesn't bother me. And then we just need to put some glue on this side, and the whole of this can have glue on it because it's all being stuck down. We're not making a pocket out of this bit. Suppose you could. Again, you know, it's different varieties that you can try. And then we just pop that down. Like that. Okay. So then we've got our first page with a pocket, this one here, and then our last page with a pocket. Then you will need 4 bits of card to cover your paper. We're not going to cover the very front. We're going to cover this, 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 and this, and leave the back. That's because this is the middle signature. This is going to be stuck. This is going to be stuck. We're not going to see them. You'll have 2 smaller bits and 2 slightly larger bits. That's because your card is generally going to be smaller than your envelope, so that it fits, you know, it fits in. So I have cut a piece for there, and I've cut a piece for here, and I've cut a piece for, no, where was I going to have that? Yeah, I put a number 1, so I must mean that to go first. So that one there, and that one there. So to stick this on, you'll probably be aware if you've done this quite a few times, or if you use envelopes quite a lot in your crafting or in your junk journals. But we need to stick the whole of this onto this. But what we don't want to do is put glue here, because that will close the pocket. So once we've put the glue here, we just then get a bead of glue and just pop it kind of here to stick that end down, but we still have our pocket open. And then we just pop it on. Okay, this bit and this bit you can just stick fully down. There's no pocket unless you've made a pocket. And then we're going to do the same on here, just glue in this bit and then just 1 line of glue down the bottom. So I will get on and do that. So our middle is all stuck down. I've put all the papers onto there like that. The next thing we're going to do is actually assemble the album. So making sure everything is facing the correct way, so it's opening this way, and also that it's facing upwards, you know, it's the correct orientation. We're going to stick this all together. Now you'll notice on here that I have got a line. This is something I saw Helen do. I would never in a million years have thought to do it. It's such a clever idea. And the reason we've made a line is because we're not going to glue here. This is about a 1/2 inch gap. What that's going to allow us to do is, once this is stuck together, if we glued the whole thing, so the whole spine was stuck, as we started to put things in, it would get like this. It would become a gator mouth. If we stick from about here, we're leaving some expansion room. And that will become a bit clearer once it's glued on. I can actually show you, but it leaves some expansion room, so it helps the spine to expand with the book. So that's the reason why I've done that. So this is the back. This is going to be my very back cover. So this one is going to get the glue first. Again, I'm using my collal. I can't remember what I used for the others. It's been about 2 weeks since I made the other ones. So I can't remember exactly what all my steps are, but I think I use collal. And then I find it easy to just put them like this so that they're the same height. Press it down, make sure we're nice and lined up. Same with this one. And then I will just go to that end page where I've stuck them. Give it a press. And then I would recommend just leaving that now for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast your glue dries. Just let it kind of bond together and do its job before we go any further. Okay, so now we're all stuck. You can see there that we've got some expansion where we've not put that glue, and that will just help the gator mouth situation. I never would have thought of doing that. I think it's such a clever idea. Definitely one I will remember in the future. So now, I probably should have done this before, but I forgot. But we need to make some holes just to show where we've got our pockets. So we're going to have a pocket where our last envelope on the first signature and the first envelope on our middle signature meet. Okay, and it's quite a good pocket actually, because it's quite strong, because we've got we've got 2 bits of paper stuck here for the back of the pocket. I'm going to try, but I can't. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. No, I should have done it before. I can't do it. But just remember, if you are doing any pockets, make sure you do your hole before you stick them together. Also, if you have cut an envelope open, you might just need a little bit of glue. It's just where you've opened the flap. Okay, so the next step is to do the spine. Now, Helen Griffin left hers like this, which is absolutely fine. I decided that I wanted to actually cover mine, and the way I did this, as I showed you at the beginning, is by using Tim Holtz fabric tape. It could be any fabric tape, or it could just be fabric. And my secret weapon is a little bit of canvas. So the canvas I use is this one. It's actually canvas that you can print on. So that might be an option as well. If you've got a printer that will accept this, you could print some pattern paper and use that. But what I have been doing is cutting down the canvas so that we're at the right height. And then putting the fabric tape right down the middle. The reason I like this fabric tape, this is, I don't know if it's a newer one or whether it's just newer to me, but it's thicker than the other tape. And it's just a really nice width for wrapping all around like this. So that's what I've been using. And what I've been doing is, I'll show you on this one. I haven't been sticking the envelopes to the canvas. I've just made a soft spine and allowed it to curve round, just to give the room there for expansion, and so it's not all stuck together and not opening properly. And I'm going to do the same on this one. So all I did for that was kind of positioned my spine onto there, or the canvas I'm going to use to be my spine. and kind of worked out, you know, kind of got my little curve going. And then I want this to be equal-ish, front and back. So I think I'm going to put glue here. It doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to cover this. And don't worry about your pencil mark either. I'm going to put glue this side of that line. Not going too far here. I don't want any glue to seep in there. And popping that down. And it does take not a long time, but you might have to hold it. You know, see there, it just popped back up again. Just kind of hold that in place. I'm just checking it's in the right position. Give it a press down. And then turning over, what we want is to allow a little bit of a curve so that canvas isn't right squished up to those envelope edges. And then put a little mark and do the same on this side. Again, just checking I've got that gap. And then pressing down to secure. Okay, I'm not going to open it yet. I'm just going to leave that to sit for a while I get my front and back cover sorted. Okay, so when you're all dry, if you're wanting a closure on yours, there's different ways of going about it. I actually did mine before I stuck my paper on the front to keep it nice and snug in there. You can do it so it wraps all the way around, and the kind of whatever you're putting on the front here, you like your topper, holds it in place. Lots of different ways of doing it. You could just have one that's loose and isn't attached, or you could just have none at all. You know, entirely up to you. But I'm going to make sure I do mine now because one, I always forget, and two, I want to make sure it goes underneath there. So I don't know why, obviously it's kind of measuring this way, and I want my 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So if I was to cut at 1.5, this is in centimetres, by the way. Like that. Cut this straight. Then what I've been doing is with a little bit of double-sided tape, just placing some of this down. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have made this a little bit longer. I think my one is going to be covered. Okay, sticking that on to there. I should have made it longer, but never mind. It's too nice to waste. Then turning it over. Lining it up where I want it to end. So we'll go for 8 since we've stopped at 4. Did we stop at 4? Yeah, so 8.5 will do. Bit more tape. And to get it in the right place, do this. Tape on. press. Okay, so that gives us our closure in the front and the back. What you can also do then is put a little bit extra over the top, which I think I am on this one because it's cut that little bit shorter. I'm not going to go too far this way though, because I don't want to risk it being seen kind of, you know, hanging out of this bit here. Let's put a little bit extra on there. Okay, so that's that done and ready, and we're just, last bit now is to put our front covers on. Front cover I've cut slightly smaller than the envelope because I want to be able to see the fabric that I've put on here. So I've cut it down slightly. We're going to just stick that on there like that. That one is just showing in the right place, so that's good. Now when we stick this down, we don't want to stick the front cover. If I open it up this way, I'm not sure, I'm trying to find the best angle to do it. As you open it up, you'll see that this folds backwards on itself. So what we don't want to do is get this, stick it here, so that when we're opening it, can you see how it's bending backwards? To make sure that we are putting it into position where that's not going to happen. This one I've made slightly too short, so you can see a little bit of the canvas. That's not a problem really. Always cut it off if you want. If that happens to you, which way was I having that? That way. So we'll just get these stuck down. Just take that backing off. This double-sided tape as well will just help to secure the whole thing. Keep this stuck down over the top of that ribbon. I really like that ribbon. I will have to try and keep an eye out for some fabric tapes that I can dye, because I think it's really effective. I did buy this as ribbon, but I think it would be really nice to have it as an actual, you know, to use an actual tape measure. I'm just trying to get this centered. I'm going to open it up to make sure it's not bending, which it's not. Make sure the top and bottom is about right. Make sure I'm not hanging over here. This collal does give you quite a lot of wiggle room as well. It's really strong once it dries, but you do have that time. And I'm going to do the same on the back. It's going to pop a little bit of extra tape again. So the construction of our book is done, and we are basically ready to go. We're decorating. So obviously you have the pockets that you have made, however many pockets you've decided to put in. So you've got your pockets in there. I wish I'd remembered to put holes. I might have to do something to indicate there's some pockets there. But you can add extra pockets if you want. Side tucks. I haven't done anything in any of mine yet. So they're just kind of like a blank slate ready to go. I am going to put a little bit on the front, but because I really like this detail here, I don't want to put anything in the middle. I don't want to cover too much of that up. I do like this. This is a scrap from here, this Renaissance book 6. I'm thinking I could put maybe this on and kind of do like a little cluster, some sort. Maybe don't need that. Inside as well, there's loads of tags and labels that you can use. So we have all of these. I could use a blank one of these maybe. I do have some of these similar of my own. However, it'd be nice to keep it all with the same kit, since this is what I'm using. I'm not even sure if you can see. Can you see me doing that? So I could use one of those. There's also this really good, these letters down here are really nice. And I'm sure that there was like some numbers. I love those. I've got some labels here. Ah, here we go. So, could do something like that, and then let's have a look. I want to keep in kind of the black and white. Be nice to bring a bit of this colour in, maybe. So perhaps one of these creams. I think I'm going to go for something like this with some numbers on. I think that works well. We've got numbers here, we've got numbers here. So let's get these stuck down. Probably don't need collage, I might just use this. I've got this cut off as well that I cut off from here. I thought it might be just nice to balance it a little bit down there. So we've got kind of like, you know, balanced across the diagonal. I'm just having a look as well through this is my file folder kit, and it's got loads of really nice labels and tags and things. So if you have this and you've got kind of this style paper, that could be something that you could use instead. It goes quite nice. Yeah, so I was just having a look through to see what I've got. I could have used this instead of using the Elizabeth Craft Designs, but hey ho. We've got like little tags on here. We've got green ones, different textured ones, then bits and bobs that can go inside a tag. That's quite nice. This is with the kit as well. Could sit that there. A typewriter. Yeah, so I just thought I'd have a look, see if there was anything I could put to use. You get little tabs as well, which might be an idea for putting onto here. So I know it's got a pocket there. Possibly. This is what it looks like when it's done. This was my trial one. It's not the one. I do have a video on how to put it all together. I will link it. This was just my practice one when I was making sure everything kind of worked out. But you get all like these numbers and things, little red labels. So yeah, something like that probably would fit inside one of these. Okay, so I think we are all done. So let's have a quick flick through. So we've got our front. Add some things into here. We've got our pocket there. And we'll add different pages. As I said, you can add more pockets into this if you want to. You can add pockets on the actual pages themselves. And that's our back. We'll just tie like that. So these are, have I used bigger cards? Oh, I did. I used a slightly bigger card because these are craft. So these are bigger than 4x4. Well, they might be 4x4, but just bigger than these ones. But they're craft, yeah, so they're a different type of envelope. I was wondering why that looked a bit bigger. So, yeah, but you can see how many different styles. This is what the pocket should look like. So if you remember to put your hole in, your pocket looks like this. You don't have an awful lot of room, you know, it's not one of those things where you can put lots of bulk in it, but definitely some photo mats or for sticking some notes down and things like that, or some some tags would fit in there easily, no problem. So they're probably going to be holiday photos. But yeah, you can see just from changing the size, the papers, changing it up a little bit, just how different you can make them. This is a mixture of, no, sorry, it's not a mixture of, it is Tim Holtz paper. is it memorandum? So that's that one. That's the back. That was the first one I made. And then this one has a completely different feel to it, just with the kind of the choice I've made on the front. I love this textured denim paper. This paper is a pad from the Works in the UK. And I've used blues and beiges in this one. Again, there's the pocket, nice big pocket this time. Obviously the album is bigger. Another pocket here. Okay, so that is that. They're just such lovely albums. I've got 4 really nice albums there to go for when I want to fill them with my photographs or my memories. Something like that. This, I think, would be nice as like a ticket keeper. So kind of like sticking tickets in for keepsakes of places where you've been, shows that you've been to perhaps. So yeah, loads of possibilities. So thank you very much to Helen Griffin for her tutorial. I will link her channel, and I will also link the video because it wasn't that far, it wasn't that far back. It was actually a live. So I should probably be able to find it. Please head over to her channel and like and subscribe to her if you'd like to see more of what she does. She's very, very talented. And a big thank you to her. So let me know if you have a go at these. Again, really simple to make, loads of possibilities. Thoroughly enjoyed this project and I hope you do too. So I will say bye for now and I will see you next time. Take really good care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Bye.